Hi, I'm Scott Doonbeer from Act 4 Publishing.
And I'm Kevin Gardner of 12 Gauge Comics. We're here to tell you about our Kickstarter campaign for Jason Pearson's Body Bags Artist Edition. As many of you know, Jason passed away in December of 2022. He was a dear friend of mine, and in my opinion, one of the most talented comic book creators to ever work in this industry. His work for Marvel and DC on books like X-Men, Deadpool, Spider-Man, Batman, Harley Quinn, and so many others was well regarded. But no matter what he did, it always came back around to body bags, his wildly controversial and wildly successful creator-owned series that debuted in 1996. And all these years later, we're still talking about it. Now let me hand it over to Scott, who is the Eisner Award-winning creator of the Artist Edition format. He'll tell you a little bit about that and why he wants to do this book.
Jason Pearson was someone that I worked with over the years when I was the editor-in-chief at Wildstorm. He was a friend of mine. He remained a friend throughout his life. Incredibly talented guy. I wanted to do something that would solidify his legacy, and I thought the best way I could do that was to put together an artist edition. It takes original comic art and prints it in a format that is as close as possible to what the original art looks like. So you're talking about a book that is printed the same size. This book will be 12 by 17 inches, and it will be scanned in color so you can actually see all the little nuances that make original art unique. Everything as close as possible to the actual intent of the artist. And that's our tribute to Jason.
On top of the Artist Edition hardcover, we have 2 other books we'll be offering in this campaign. Both are 64 pages in length, both are 8-inch by 12-inch in size, and perfect bound. Really nice presentation. The first is called Locked and Loaded, and it is a Jason Pearson sketchbook. It's a convention-style book that has all of his private commission artwork that most people have never seen. The other is called the Artist Edition Plus book, and we're doing that because Jason never sold a single page of his body bags work. That's from the sequential pages, but also the character designs, early concept art, all the way through the final pages he was working on before he passed away.
If you back the book and you get the 2 ancillary books, you'll be receiving more than 300 images by Jason Pearson that have never been printed in this format. So this is an incredible opportunity. If you're a fan of Jason's, this is a great project.
We've also got some add-ons as part of our campaign, like trading cards and print sets and some really great looking stuff. And also want to say, if you back Jason's campaign in 2015, we have a very special offer for you too. So please go check out our campaign page. Thank you so much for listening to the video, and thank you for your support. Body bags.
Let's go Monday. Gosh, Monday. Hey everybody. Thank you for showing up to this Monday stream. My name is Rocky Ballesteros. Welcome to my channel. This is a Master Study show. Master Study Part 4 for Jim STERANKO. Made some great progress in Part 3. Go watch that. When you get a chance. Part 3, when we started inking on this page. And Part 2 and Part 1, where we did the pencils of this page. But yeah, we are in the middle of inking it. And we made good progress last time, which was a late night stream. I think it was Thursday night. And plugging away, just staring at this. I was really excited with how stuff turned out. There was a few little details that I added in on my own after stream was over because I wasn't seeing straight at the end of that last stream. So I finished a couple of those details on the phone panel. I'll show you guys in a second here. And I'm hoping to get maybe 1, 2, or possibly 3 panels done today. There's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 panels on this page. One big one at the top, and then 5 in the middle row, 5 in the third row. So quite a few panels. They're not super complicated, but yeah, we just got to make good progress on this one today so that we can keep on schedule, which actually, to be honest, there is no schedule. There is no formal schedule. It just gets done when it's done, but I don't want to take too long on each one of these pages because there's just so much to do, so many other pages to look at, so much other comic stuff to look at. And yeah, so yeah, today, hopefully to get 3-ish panels done today. But I'm so glad that you guys have joined me for that. Cranberry Langers is here.
This is a cranberry full of power.
I don't like that wrench being in between there. But then it pushes this. Well, maybe I can shrink it down. On the fly here. There we go. Cranberry Langers, what's up? Emo Trash is here. Emo Trash. She said, funny as I'm literally writing about you, which is scary, Emo Trash. I mean, I know that we talked on the side, that interview for your class. Hopefully it's going well, but kind of frightening. I don't know. I would love to see what you write. I would love to see what you write. Katie's here all the way from the UK. Katie.
Say cup of tea.
Cup of tea.
No, a cup of tea.
She's here for a quick cup of tea before bed. Although that kind of goes counter because it'll keep you up, right? Katie says she prefers coffee. Cranberry Langers prefers tea. There's a whole conversation going back and going back and forth with that. I am, what do you call it? I don't have a, well, no, I don't have a preference one way or the other. I can go with either. I think coffee gives me a little bit more boost of caffeine, which I've actually heard that some teas have more caffeine than coffee does. But I always feel more pepped up when I drink coffee, especially an afternoon coffee, which I may have to get in the middle of this stream because I can kind of feel the energy level, the mid-afternoon, maybe you do need a coffee. Maybe I should have drank a coffee before I started this. But tea is good. I always feel healthier drinking tea. I don't know why. Maybe less sugar, less cream. But I could do with either one. I could do with either one right now. Coffee for the win. Might get some more if I feel like it. Lucky you. Lucky you that you don't have a camera on you right now and you can just get up and go get coffee. Somebody ship me a coffee right now so I don't have to get up out of my seat. I'm used to drinking it, Cranberry Langer says, and I don't have a coffee machine. Well, good on you, I guess. Although you can save quite a bit of money if you get yourself a coffee machine. And there is something nice about the routine of making your coffee. My routine goes a little bit like this. I pull out the Nespresso pod, put it in the machine, press the button, done. My wife has more of an elaborate morning routine, and she kind of likes that, like with grinding the beans and tamping it and putting it in the machine and waiting for it to drip. I'm a little less patient. I'm all down for the quick Nespresso coffee blast, or sometimes I'll do a 3-in-1 packet. So yeah, it depends, but it is a nice routine. That is one thing. I started drinking coffee way late in life. My former roommate in college told me that at the beginning of when we were freshmen, he said, I know by the end of this year you're going to start drinking coffee. Just because we talked about being like night owls and working really late and kind of pulling all-nighters. But I never started drinking coffee in college. It was only till I was maybe about 5 years ago did I start drinking coffee. Never really got a taste for it. So yeah, but I love it now. It's really fun. And there is like a routine part of it to the day. Mr. Monkey Boy 1969.
How do you say monkey in French?
He's like, what you doing? What are you doing? It's not Wednesday. It's not. But on the occasion, I do stream on other non-Wednesday days, specifically for these master studies. So that's what I'm doing. Wednesday will stay locked in for new comics this week. I do have already a couple things I can talk about. Mainly from like library stuff. And there was that graphic novel that I didn't go over last time. So that'll go in the pile of what to talk about this week. But I do feel like I will probably have more, just looking at my schedule, I probably have more time to stream a little bit more this week than usual. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll have this stream, God willing, Wednesday's stream. I'm thinking I could probably squeeze in one more, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Don't hold me to it. Cranberry Langer says, coffee apparently has great health benefits. That's what the coffee drinkers say. Much like the wine drinkers say wine has good health benefits. And the tea drinkers say tea has good health benefits. So, it just depends on who you ask. Schedule? Who's she? There he goes touching things. Wait, what do you mean there he goes touching things? Creepy. I'm only reciting exactly everything you told me over the call. I even skip graded peer reviews when they're assigned. Oh, all right. Well, hopefully you quote me well. You will quote me well. Cranberry Langer says, I use coffee and tea as energy supplements, as do a lot of us. Although I do love the taste. The fun thing with Nespressos and how they get you as a customer is they have all these special flavors, and every month or every season they have like their limited edition blah 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 flavor. And truth be told, I probably put enough cream and sugar in my coffee that you can't taste the difference. It all tastes like my creamer and sugar. But there's something about the like different flavors of the coffee, and I know people who are more into coffee to deal with coffee beans and like the different notes in coffee beans. It's awesome. It's a whole like science and art form to it. I'm just casual, but I do appreciate like appealing to that. It's like wine drinkers too. I'm not a wine drinker, but they can like smell the certain things. Something's more woodsy or has a different aftertaste. Like all that kind of stuff is really fun. Actually, one of my cousins became a sommelier. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but those are basically the people that work at fancy high-end restaurants or hotels and pick which wines they carry. And so they have to be really good about tasting it and like knowing the whole process. And so yeah, I always thought that would be a fascinating job. I mean, who goes to school thinking you're going to be a sommelier? It's good. It's quite a specific job, but it's kind of cool that there is a specialty in that, or there's an art form to that too. I don't know why, but I'm extremely insecure about sharing my writing, significantly more so than my art. Well, what are we going to do about that, Emo Trash? What are we going to do about that? If you don't want to share it, that's okay. Even though it's talking to me, even though you asked me questions, if you don't want to share it, I can't force you to share it. So no stress, no worries. I'm sure it's going to turn out great. Cranberry says, yeah, the routine. They've apparently done studies on people who drink coffee, and the effect is that it staves off, I'm assuming it's staves, off dementia or an aging brain for years, and apparently it helps fight cancer. And apparently it just makes you able to think better overall. Well, does it though? So I created a long time ago in the early 2000s. I created, and directed a show, a web series called Joe Paradise. And the crux of that whole story is, and I would love to actually bring that back. So we'll see. That would be amazing. But the crux of that story was, and this was before I became a coffee drinker, was that coffee was like a mind control device. And people were so addicted to it and had to have it. And, it controlled people. The people that created the coffee beans, which got brewed into coffee, controlled people. And that was kind of my view on coffee drinkers, because I myself wasn't a coffee drinker, but people just had to have their coffee, and if they didn't have their coffee, they would go through like withdrawal. It's like there's an addiction, or however you want to frame it, to caffeine. And so I just thought it would be a funny take and a funny spin to really play that up and make that more insidious. So yeah, again, it depends on who you ask. I think I saved a lot of money starting to drink coffee way later in my life, because there's people that just cannot function without their coffee. And whether that's staving off dementia or helping them fight cancer, or they're just addicted to it, who knows? Mr. Monkey Boy says, Red Buffalo gives you wings. I've never tried Red Bull. And there you go, staves off. Gotcha. And I don't want to, because I heard it doesn't taste great. And I heard it's really horrible. And the sugar in that is horrible. So I'll stick with my coffee. My coffee. Thank you very much. Awesome One.
Yes, that's awesome.
Let's do this, Awesome One. How are you doing, my friend? It's got the burp going on. I have the burp. Here we are. Wait, where is the burp? I know I have the burp. Here it is. There we go. Awesome One's always burping on stream. Always talking about food and then burping and then random links. That's his move. Emo for Art President 2025. I like Irish cream and caramel creamers. I do too. Although, as funny as this sounds, as I was just talking about all the different flavors in coffees that you can get, I like the sweet cream flavor of creamers because I feel like it's just sweetening it. It's not adjusting it or changing it. So I like to get like an Irish cream coffee and then add the sweet cream as opposed to adding an Irish cream creamer or a caramel creamer. That doesn't make any sense. I do like the flavor of Irish cream. I do like the flavor of caramel. I do like vanilla flavor, but I've always found that creamers, just a sweet cream is the best for me, at least. Awesome One says he's listening, but not in chat. No problem. Emo Trash says, being art president would be boring. I prefer leading the revolution and initiating my dictatorship instead. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, what would you do? What would you be as an art president? You'd probably get cut. First thing, you'd be the first politician to get cut. You'd be the first in the front lines during a war. You'd be cannon fodder if you were the art president. Okay, I get you. Thanks for that. Hopefully you get a good grade. We'll all pray for that. Cranberry Lander says, my mom did get addicted to coffee. It's a legal addictive. Yeah, I think most people did. Katie says, Cranberry Landers and me are sharing some writing pieces. That's cool. Neato. That's awesome. I love it. And hopefully you guys are encouraging one another on, spurring one another on. That is the cool thing about this whole YouTube online community, that you can collaborate or connect with people from all over the world and share in a unified love or passion, like comics in my case, or writing or art or whatever in general. And that's really cool. That really widens your connection points. And at the end of the day, it's like, we're all pretty similar. My daughter is I can't remember what the name of the app that she has. It's like a music app. Oh, what is it called? Some of you guys might know what it is. But pretty much it like connects with your contacts. And if they're on the app too, it like rates how connected you are or how similar your tastes are in the music you're listening in, I believe, like a particular week or something like that. So I thought that was a kind of a cool app or a cool functionality, because it was just like highlighting how and she would connect with whoever, whether it's people she knew or, I mean, it's based on her contacts, but as she gets to know new people and makes new friends, they're all like, oh, are you on the, and again, I can't remember the app name, but are you on the blah, blah, blah app? And they'll be, oh yeah. And then they get on and they can see what their musical interests are. And it kind of makes her feel like, oh, so-and-so listens to this really obscure musician that I listen to. And how cool is that? So it's kind of like that with YouTube audiences, just finding people that like the same weird stuff you do and want to nerd out about the same stuff you do. Jeffrey Beats. How is Australia, Jeffrey Beats? You know what? John mentioned this last stream, and I wholeheartedly agree. I think it's time to make you a mod, my friend. And no stress. Being a mod on this channel is nothing, no heavy lifting. It just allows you to post links if you want to. And in the event that we get attacked by some crazy chat bot, you can help me by protecting the channel. But I like to reward people that have been on here. It's kind of been the ongoing tradition that we reward people that are faithful, have shown up in the chat quite a bit, and add to the wonderful conversation that we have, specifically about comics. And you've been doing that very, very frequently these last few streams. So I'm glad to have you part of our community. Everybody, welcome. Jeffrey Beats, welcome to the Mod Squad. There you go, Jeffrey Beats. Would you have ever thought, growing up in Australia, however many years old you are, that in 2025 you would be part of this exclusive community on Rocky Ballesteros' YouTube channel called the Mod Squad, which is basically everybody. Everybody in the chat right now is part of the Mod Squad. So yeah, welcome. And then that also means that you are in the, what do you call it? In the, not the running, but on my list of, so what I like to do also to add to the experience, this like, this very robust experience on my channel, is I love to do custom sound effects for people that are part of the Mod Squad. So that'll be coming, Jeffrey Beats, now that you are part of the crew. We'll have to do that. I'll have to think of, I think I shot my Australian bullet when I made that sound bite for Michael Bancroft. So I got to think of something else for you. My knowledge of Australian isms is very, very small. So anyway, Hard Times and Jay Ryan says, Rocky, you are my sweet cream.
It's actually a really good sculpt.
That's really nice and kind of really gross, dude. So I'll take it, though. I'll take it. Good to see you, Art and Times with Jay Ryan. Always bringing in the class, for sure. Let's see. Hello, Jeffrey Beats. Glad to see you back. That's right. Rocky, are you talking about Spotify? No, it's not Spotify Blends. It's a totally different app. It's, gosh, I'll have to ask her. It's a totally different app, though. I know Spotify does something like that. Apple Music tried doing something like that as well. But, yeah, it's its own app. Music app sounds a little invasive for me. I mean, it is and it isn't. It's, I mean, most things that you participate in on social media or any kind of social experience is, to a certain extent, invasive, right? So just depends on how much you want to let the app know about your life. But welcome to Rocky Streams, Comrade Sammy, where being a moderator is a requirement. It kind of is. It kind of is. It's a badge, and it's also a what do you call it? Like a badge and permission. I don't know. Comrade Sammy was one of the first. Where's John? John, we'll have to let John knows if he comes in here, because he recommended it last stream, and John is kind of the arbiter of modding on this channel, because he was the very first person to show up in my chat when I first started doing this crazy experiment. So it's awesome. Great to see you, Comrade Sammy. The way he's explaining it doesn't sound like Spotify. Thanks for the mod listing, Jeffrey Beat says. You are welcome, sir. Welcome to the Mod Squad, that's right. I'd like to thank the Academy, my publicist, and my co-stars. Oh, did any of you guys watch the Oscars? I don't watch it anymore, but I did watch some clips of Conan O'Brien hosting it, when he is always funny. I love Conan O'Brien. I've always loved his writing and his shows. Got to see him live also when he was fired from The Tonight Show and went on a tour. He happened to come into San Francisco, and I got to see him live, and he was amazing. But I always love him, and I thought a lot of the bits that I saw on the Oscars were really funny. So yeah, it's good. But yeah, all the speeches from the Oscars, that's where it's coming from. Now you trouble, what does that mean? Now you trouble you on the big screen. Okay. You are that little extra that makes my day nicer. Don't make it dirty, Rocky. Jeez. All right, it's me. I'm reading into it too much. Really bad. Katie, why aren't you modded? You have been modded. What happened? Maybe did you change? Did you start and stop your account? I'm going to add you as a moderator again. Unless you're a robot and I just got conned. We'll find out in a second. But Katie, you are definitely a mod on here, so I don't know what happened. John, I have a feeling I know where he is. Be right back. Oh, is he on another stream? Don't yank him from another stream. Oh, he's in a game stream right now. Okay, no problem. Oh, great. Emo Trash, tell him to get over here. We're more important. You in trouble. Trouble. All right, cool. So it's awesome seeing... Oh, here we go. One more. Timmy Mello. Nice.
And the Guardians are headed to October.
How are you doing, Timmy Mello? Hope you're well. Hope you... I know you had some like early morning, late night emergency things come up. Hope you are doing well. Just in time for me to get to the drawings. Okay, so here's where we're at. These were the 3 panels that we collectively witnessed being inked last time. So I just touched up a little things. Right when I ended the stream, I said I'm not going to work on these little circles here because as late as it was, I would not be able to do that with a steady hand. I'd screw something up and regret it. So I added those little details here on the rotary, a little bit of the texture here. But these 3 panels are done now. And then I'm planning on, I think, finishing up these 2 panels today I'd like to, and maybe move on to this guy here, or this gal here. So we'll see. But I'm going to, before I bust out, I think I'm going to do this entire panel right here with the technical pens. There's enough small detail, and if it was just small detail that was like longer in, I don't know how to describe this. There's a lot of small detail, and there's a lot of like turning curves, like quick edges or sharp edges with all the like bent limbs and the kind of arms and legs and all this kind of stuff that I feel like if I used a brush, which I could, it would just take longer, and also I'd be like rotating this page quite a bit, and I just feel like I'll be able to do it faster with the technical pen. So I'm going to try it out. No harm, no foul. I'm going to use these Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pens. I've loved these. Not only does the ink flow nicely on it, but they're really great because the kind of ink and the blackness of the ink that comes out of these pens matches pretty close to any India ink I've partnered them with. So I like that a lot. And then I have a few different thicknesses of these pens that allows me to get into some of the details, the tiny details, pretty easily. So I'm going to use those here. We'll start here, and then we'll move on to here, and I'll switch to the brush for these lips, these luscious lips, because there's some nice, this is going to be hard, but there's some nice thick thin going on these lines here. That'll be really fun to practice with the brush on it. Oh, and lastly, before I start is, remember I was trying to find a more detailed version of this top panel? Because the one I have is kind of munchy. It's like blown up from a smaller scan. I did find a better scan of that. This one's in color. And so I found one online, and it's awesome because it gives me a lot more of the details that I couldn't see in my scan, my original scan. So that'll be great. Like, for example, here, I'll zoom in, I'll switch to this view. See these details in the hair up here? Those will be really, they're a lot easier to see on this scan than it was on the scan that I was drawing the pencils off of. And then just some of these other details like the hatch marks here, the folds, and even the use of black and the negative fold lines in here. I could barely see that in the printout that I was working off of to draw this. I was just kind of fudging it a little bit here. But here it gives me a clearer indication of how those lines were handled. So that'll be really great to use that when I tighten that up. So yeah, I finally found all my like bigger, nicer scans of all these images, which is going to help with the inking process. So let's start here. And then the other thing I realized when I was watching the last stream back was most of the time, maybe this doesn't matter, but it kind of matters to me. Most of the time, like my head in the top left corner here was just like this. Which, not that you need to see my head, but I'm like, oh man, you're just staring at the back of my ear for most of this stream. So I don't know if I have to like, I can readjust this. Oh shoot. This could be a disaster. But I can readjust this a little bit better. I don't know, we'll try it out. We'll try it out so that at least you can see my, I don't know. Does it matter? Maybe it doesn't really matter. All right, let's see. Let me catch up here on the chat and then we'll get going on it. Everybody's saying hello to Timmy Mello. Rocky mods first and ask questions later. Katie said, I did delete and restart my account. I'm fickle. Okay, that's why. Well, you're too sweet where you didn't ask to be modded again, but you for sure needed to be a mod, so I'm glad I was able to re-mod you for my stream. Had to clean my goggles. Yuck, that gross panel. Mr. Monkey Boy hates this last panel. Hates the calisthenics panel. The controversially calisthenic panel. Mark's music session. What's up, Mark? Oh my god. It is evening for you already. Good evening. Hello, hello. Them lips. There's some nice lips there. I love them. It's really nice. Great lips. They're hard. They're going to be hard though because there's such control. Ugh, it's going to be hard. Mine are going to look a little bit more blobby. My lines are, I already know it, but we'll try. The Rocky Horror lips, kind of. That's right. Okay, everybody's saying hello. There he goes touching things again. That doesn't sound good, Emo Trash. And don't say that. Flashback to early Rocky. That's true. I will give you that. That's true. Those were good times. Those were good times when the cameras get knocked over. Come on, I'm a little bit more professional now. Just a little bit. Those are good times. Okay, let's see. All right, I'll put on some tunes, which I think I've gotten last stream. They worked okay. I think. All right. Everybody, hold your breath. It's going to be good. Let me take a swig of water. Let's get going. Yeah, I just feel like, for sure, the use of technical pens or any kind of pens when you're drawing gives you a lot more control than a brush. The line quality might not be as great, but for sure gives you a lot more control. And with these kind of tiny figures here, I feel like I do need a little bit more control. But maybe I'll use, well, no, I don't have to. This is kind of, maybe I'll use the brush to fill in the blacks so I don't waste my pen ink on this. Yes, I would knock down things multiple times this stream. It's so true. Them evenly crosshatch libs. I think it's dangerous that I'm gonna try and do those with the brush, because that crosshatching and how even it is just the skill level of the inker. And I definitely know I'm not at that skill level, but we're gonna try our best. It'll be a good exercise. This is not an exercise in perfection. This is an exercise in practice. So it'll be all good. Oh, and I'm using a 0.3 right now. Pit pen, which is considered small. And I also have a 0.1, which is considered extra small. I don't know if I'll need the 0.1, but we'll see. The downside of using technical pens, though, is you don't get great tapering. I mean, you can manufacture the tapering. Just by building up a line over and over again, but that's one thing I love about inking with a brush is the natural taper that comes. See, I'm like in this corner. Can I push it? Here. But because the artwork or the lines on this particular panel, there's not that much tapering. I thought that's why I kind of felt like I could do this with a technical pen. Some of these hairlines in here, could definitely use a thinner. You guys always notice how you naturally would like repeated lines or repeated things that repeat. There's always this natural tendency to do it in threes. So I'm noticing that a lot with these curls. There's like 3 or in multiples of 3. Like a nice balance to it when you do it in threes. Never be too professional. Don't worry. Don't have to worry about that. 12 more subs. Let's get him, Mark's Music Obsession. That's right. You know, it's funny because there's something about this like 486 to 488 that has been like totally messing with me because it keeps fluctuating between those. And I don't know if that's just a YouTube algorithm thing, shenanigans, or if it's like literally two people join, two people drop, two people join, two people drop. It's really funny because I'm like, oh good, we're moving up, and then we're moving down, we're moving up, and this is the most it's happened for me at a particular number. Usually it just kind of slowly climbs, but for some odd reason this number of 486 to 488 has just been moving around and like dancing in front of me every time I check. So once we get over the 490 mark, I'll be able to breathe a sigh of relief. But yeah, we're close. We're close. Back in the day, you definitely needed to know how to draw like belt loops. All the guys always had pretty realistic belt loops. It's like a prerequisite. DuckTales theme. We don't need, who needs professionalism? Really, honestly. Cranberry Landry says, I used to love Conan O'Brien in the 90s and early 2000s. Might be a silly question, but are you inking to size or 200%? So I am inking to as close to the original size of the original artwork. And then this gets shrunk down. When it got printed, it got shrunk down to standard comic book size. So that's part of the process, is me finding whatever master study that I pick, finding a scan, or even if I'm scanning from, one of my artist edition books or another comic book, and blowing it up to size that the originals were drawn at. So I have like a standard template of comic book pages digitally. And so what I'll do is I'll for example, if I scan it from a comic book, I'll bring in that scan into the template and then size it up to fit to this 11 by 17 format within the bleed line boundaries and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, and the point of all that is just to have the closest experience of recreating this page to the original as I can. so that's not a silly question. And it's not exactly 200% from what it's printed out. I don't know what the exact percentage is. I'd have to look it up. That new series he did is good. Cranberry, Conan O'Brien Must Go. Yeah, it's good. Where he travels around. He's just funny, and he's really quick-witted, which is why he's such a good writer. He's like just super funny, and yet totally disarming to guests. Like really brings out like the comedy in the interviews that he does. Yeah, he's brilliant. Wrestling or the Wicked Lambada. Speaking of hatching, he didn't do the hatching on her lips on the frame right next to this one now that I really look at it. Speaking of hatching, he didn't do the hatching on her lips on the frame right next to it. Oh, this one? This frame? Yeah, I guess not. I mean, because the lips are only on this pan, like that's it, this abstraction of the lips. I love how they spent time like with these contour hatching lines. It's really great. Then he indicated it a little bit here and then didn't at all here. So it's just kind of that like, I don't think it was intentionally out. I think it's just like put the details where you need it, where you need to draw focus, and then when you don't, and you kind of, you know, make that choice of simplifying. Because here, I'd argue, you know, you don't want to be staring at the details of the lips here, although it would connect it a little better if there's a couple hatch lines, but you're definitely staring at this expression, this like wistful expression of Nick Fury here in this panel. It's great. Even for these panels where the details are really tiny, it's all still worked out nicely. Like, it's a nice arch to her foot here. it's simple. They're tiny details, but I don't feel like he rushed it. Or maybe he did and the instincts are just like spot on. Now we have to get into these stripes. Oh, whoops. Gotta white that out. I cut this way close. I'll white that out in a second. Made a mistake. He's going to win this battle, I believe. I believe in Nick Fury. Mighty Geek Studios, what's up? Rocky the original was done with a brush. Yeah, I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. They're a lot more skilled than I am. I mean, I could try to do it, but you know what? They probably, I'm guessing, I would like to guess, they probably had like smaller brushes that they were using for panels like these with a lot tinier details, like maybe a number 1, Winsor Newton 1, because I'm using a Winsor Newton 2. So maybe a Winsor Newton 1 or a 0, possibly. Although you could get these details with a 2. You just have to be a lot more skilled than I am. Which isn't saying much. It's funny too, because that one of those inking streams I was watching, and I told you guys about a Declan Shalvey inking. He even shared in his stream that like he doesn't like to do anything, at least right now. He just likes to ink when he's live streaming stuff because it's a little bit more, you can get a little bit more on autopilot, and it allows you to free up part of your brain to deal with chat and just to have discussions while you're doing it. And I totally agree with that. So in that same vein, like trying to ink this with a brush, it's a lot easier for me to do it. If I was a more adventurous guy, maybe I'd try it. Or if I wasn't doing it on stream, I would do it with a brush probably. But it'd just save me a lot less pain doing it this way. And we can get similar results. Oh my gosh. Remind me when I work on my own original stuff not to put my characters on a striped tiger rug. All right, let's see. I got a color in her pants. I'll use a thicker one for that so I'm not wasting the small brushes. Too far over. Yep. There we go. That panel, let me just correct this one area. I have to white it out. All right, just to remind everybody, I do use this, it's called Pro White, as kind of like my correction, or when I need to ink stuff that is white, like negative things. So for example, I was looking through the artist edition of Jim Lee X-Men that they released. I was just kind of thumbing through it, just like studying the art and stuff, and I posted this on X, so if you guys follow me on X, you'll see this post. But Scott Williams, who is one of Jim Lee's top inkers, one of the best inkers to ink Jim Lee's stuff, he did this awesome, there's like this scene where Miss Marvel, or Captain Marvel, is, Carol Danvers is getting blasted by some sort of energy blast, and you know, Jim Lee draws it, and it's really cool and exciting, and there's this blast going through, and like there's a negative spot where the beam is traveling through her chest, and Scott Williams inked it that way, but then I saw that he went back in there with white and like perfected the starburst coming from the energy explosion. It looks so good, and it would be really hard to do that by doing the negative drawing in black. So he went back in with white and added to it, and it turned out awesome. But those kind of details you don't really notice it when you're reading the comic book. But when you go back and look at the original art on it, it's just like, oh, it's so good. Like just those little touches really take it up a notch. All right, so we'll let that dry and then I'll draw the end of that one. But there we go. First panel done. Not bad. All right, now we're getting to the lips. The serious lips here. Three is a design structure for good composition. Absolutely. Yeah. It's just funny how it just like, it feels right. It feels good to do things in threes or multiples of threes. It just feels like innately feels balanced. Two is good. Never mind. This version of Nick Fury wouldn't fly today. Probably not. Probably not. But he is so cool. And he still does keep coming back in the comics, so at least he's not totally erased from the Marvel history or whatever, but yeah. His shenanigans and his character probably would not fly as well today if he was pitched originally now. Those 2 subscribers are like a carrot being dangled in front of him. Totally. Oh. That's probably what Mr. Monkey Boy was talking about too. That's right. So I don't need 2 more subscribers to get me over that 486, 488 hump. I need 3. Like, let's balance it out with 3. Let's get out of there. Back in the day, they kept their pants not like today. True. Belt loops were a back in the day thing. Am I using an outdated practice by trying to figure that out too? People have like everybody's on elastic pants now. No, I think people have belt loops, but when you think of like superhero costumes, you don't really think of the loops. You just usually think, oh yeah, belt detail, blah blah. Oftentimes a nice buckle, but like the actual loops and how they drew it in here, so much was like part of the character was the fashion. Like I love this kind of stuff, like this collar here, the detail spent in the collar. The Will Eisner page, I felt that when I was inking that Will Eisner page on stream. Just all the like folds and the hat and the shoes and suspenders, all that kind of stuff was really paid attention to back then, and now we almost simplify it too much. Yikes. You can get away with not drawing belt loops if your character wore a full suit. True. Yeah. And he could have gotten away with just doing like a simplified belt here, is my point. But even in the tiniest detail, like they made sure to keep that belt loop in there. Quiet, focused, Rocky. I'm trying. Anyone watching the White Lotus? No, I'm not. Is that good? Is that a good series? So the series I'm watching right now, I'm behind on it, but is Severance. And I need to catch up. I think I'm like 3 episodes behind on Severance. But the new series, I was just thinking about talking about this. The new series that I just binge watched the first season is a reality TV series called Balin Out Loud. And it's about a gal who, I guess she first kind of was discovered on social media because she posted on social media, but she has extreme Tourette syndrome. And her Tourette syndrome, I know there's like all these different categories, but hers is not just like tics and noises, but she like yells out obscenities, and she's like, her movements are really exaggerated, and she'll like flip people off and just yell out things all the time. But she's like she's not she's very sweet, but she's not like a demure kind of girl. She, like, even if she didn't have Tourette's, you know, she has like a little bit of like country kind of edge to her. She lives in, I think they live close to you, Emo Trash. They actually live close to DC. I don't think it's North Carolina. Is it West Virginia? I can't remember where it's based. But it's close to D.C. because she just moved to D.C. with her boyfriend. But anyway, it's a fascinating series, and it ranges from kind of sad to comedic based on what comes out of her mouth. And you kind of laugh at it, but then you get used to it too. And then just to see how her family deals with it and has been dealing with it, and her boyfriend, soon to be fiance, is dealing with it as well. It's kind of crazy, but really fascinating. So I've been binge watched over the weekend. I want to say like 6 to 8 episodes of that. It was kind of interesting. But no, I haven't. I'm not watching White Lotus. I've heard good things about it, but is it good? Let us know. Mark's Music Obsession said he tried, but was only warm to it. No. Jeffrey Beat says, I dig it. I want a holiday in that place in Thailand. Nice. Is White Lotus, is it kind of like Fantasy Island? Like that show from back in the day, from the 70s? I thought that was kind of the premise, but I could be wrong. Rocky on the Outside TV again for all to see and hear. Hello, Florida. Mark's neighbors. Come join us. Oi, Michael Bancroft is here. Oh my goodness.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
We're doing good with our Australian quota on this stream, I have to say. Bancroft and Beats are holding it up, man. They are showing up. I love it. Bancroft, give me some ideas of Beats just got modded, got wrenched on the channel not too long ago, a few moments ago, and so I got to start thinking of a soundbite for the guy, and I feel like I used up all my Australian knowledge on your soundbite, so give some tips. Everybody's saying hello to Bancroft. Speaking of other things that'll take him a while to respond to. Haha. Rocky, did you check out that epic? I have not yet. I'm sorry, I haven't checked that out yet. I will though. It's on my list. It was on my digital notes, but it has been hence written down on my pencil and paper notes. So I will check it out. Must a cuss word on his pen. Oh, must be a cuss word on his pen. On his pen? On my pen? Good day, Jeffrey Beats. Which state are you in? The cyclone one. Oh my gosh. You guys are talking code now. The Mardi Gras parade in Pensacola was crazy good. Perfect weather and a huge turnout. The parade lasted just under 3.5 hours. Wow. Is Mardi Gras really big in Pensacola? I mean, I know it's big in Louisiana, and I've been to a few. I lived in Louisiana, mid-'80s. So I did attend a Mardi Gras parade or two myself. Hello, Bancroft. We're okay. Good to hear. I guess you guys are having crazy weather. Just an update. We are on cyclone watch at the moment, hoping that it doesn't come towards us in the next few days. Doesn't hit our city. We will hear later today. Wow, that sounds intense. Stay safe, Jeffrey Beats. For sure. Stay safe. Didn't want to freak out the chat. We will be fine. Okay. Michael Bancroft says he used to live in Cairns. Cairns? Did I pronounce that right? Cairns. Would get them every few years now in Melbourne. Just get weirdos here. A cyclone of weirdos. Just bought a wind farm? Ooh, wind. All right. Wait, I'm thinking of a theme here. Jeffrey Beats. Thinking of a theme here. I'm going to write down a couple notes. Cyclones, hurricanes, typhoons, different words for the same thing. Just a lot of wind. Cyclone is the umbrella term for a number of things. Bumper crop. Talking and drawing at the same time definitely is a superpower. Yeah. It's hard. Cyclone could also just be a thunderstorm, a supercell, or a tornado. Oh, supercell. I didn't know that's where that term came from. I just know Supercell from there's like a mobile game company called Supercell. That's all I know. Wait, did that dry? Oh, yeah, that white dry. Look how nice that white dries. Really nice. But I'll draw over that next. Okay, what am I doing? I am putting ink in, going back to my speedball ink with this extremely large opening that could be disastrous. So I have to be careful here. Gosh. And they filled it up. I don't know if you guys can see it. They fill it really close to the top, trying to give you all your money's worth. But that could also be very, very dangerous. One more little blibbit. Okay, put that there. I cap this thing before I spill it all over the planet. And then wet my brush. Once again, going back to the Winsor Newton Series 7 number 2. My favorite brush. Let's hit these lips. All right. I actually have a little piece of cardstock off frame here that I use to, pretty common. A lot of people do this. I'll show you guys. That I use to like wipe my brush on when I first dip it in the ink, just to like help it get the point back and kind of spin it a little bit when I wipe it down on there. And if I notice anything weird going on with the brushes, I mean the bristles, I'll like reload the brush and then kind of hit it a couple times on that piece of paper. Oh gosh. I wish this had a freaking loop button on this YouTube music. Oh well. Number 1 round brush with a light touch would work for this panel. You're absolutely right, Mighty Geek Studios. I might have to invest in a number 1 round brush. Might be worth it. Gosh, I feel like that's too much ink on there already. That was not smooth at all. That was painful. It was not how I wanted it to come out of the brush. It's okay, we can correct it. There we go again. Mighty Geek Studios, you seem to have had experience with inking based on some of your comments. Do you do traditional comic stuff too? If so, let us know. I apologize for not knowing. Ah. I think one of the hardest things with doing art on stream, it's not necessarily talking and drawing at the same time, which that has its challenges, but I think it's also like navigating all the equipment that's in the way or part of the process for streaming. So like you guys can't see it, but there's like, you know, the overhead camera is right here and there's this arm that's holding it and it's kind of blocking my view a little bit, so I'm like looking around and then also trying to keep my head in frame when it's happening. So it's a lot of things that you're trying to do. Like if I was inking this without any equipment, I would probably have my head a little bit closer to the paper, but you know. Then you get those streams that I did where my head would like block the camera. So it's a little bit of a balancing act. It's also because I have janky equipment. If I had more professional equipment, it would probably be a little bit easier. I've avoided the contour lines as much as I can. I just gotta do it. All right, let's see. Yeah, the striped tiger cut. Well, I'm so far behind. Seems difficult to do. Probably less so if you're the initial artist, but still. Awesome one's cooking. There you go. Everyone was depressed last stream. I thought you kicked the bucket. I wonder how many people don't know that the symbol represents, that the phone symbol represents that kind of phone. That's true, right? Nobody really knows that kind of phone that much anymore. That's a good question. All right, let's see. We got to get to these hatch marks. I think I'm gonna go in this direction. Right? Yeah. Goodness. Gosh. I think I gotta cut back in white. Back the other direction. Otherwise her lip doesn't feel like it goes all the way, kind of like feels blunt on that side. I gotta cut back in a little white. Ooh. The whole time I'm doing this, I'm like, stay on target. Stay on target. That's what's going on in my head right now. Ugh, that part was not good. Have to do a little correction on that. Starting to, It's okay. It's okay. Not perfection. Not perfection. Okay, before I get to the top lip. Thought White Lotus was about Epstein stuff in Bangkok. Yikes. On the Maryland side or the Virginia side? I think Virginia, the show is, I think. Shant's members only stream was good last night, Rocky. Oh, shoot. Did I miss that? Huh. Dang it. I'll have to talk to Shant. I totally missed that. Zaid Comics. Yeah, that's right. Because I'm usually not online that much on the weekends. I try to not be on YouTube that much on the weekends, so it's probably why I missed that. Zaid Comics, what's up, Phil? How are you doing? Happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday. It's Tuesday, Phil. Get with the times. Just the tips. Look for clips from either The Castle or Chopper. Can't get much more Australian than that. Castle or The Chopper. The Castle. Not like Castle, the American show, right? You're talking about a different show. I'll look it up. Chopper. Okay. Sounds good. Mark's Music Obsession's waiting for the next Michael Bancroft Australian music trivia contest. Holy moly. Today is Monday in California. Shoot. Rocky lived in various southern areas and not a hint of an accent. Yes. I worked hard not to pick up an accent. There's quite a few who don't know about the phone symbol or the floppy disk icon for save. Gosh, you guys remember that floppy disk, and you'd have to, and if you wanted to use the other side, you'd like cut a little hole on the edge of it to like make it double-sided. Or if you didn't want to write on it, they'd give you those little stickers to cover the tabs or cover the holes so it could be read only. Oh, got a little ink splat on there. Oops. Put my brush down before I make any more mistakes. Supercells are the really intense thunderstorms that have conditions to form tornadoes. Oh, okay. Don't spill that ink. It'll get on everything. Yep, yeah. All right. Anyone want Yappy Ankle Biter? Still free to any home but mine. We do trivia almost every night at the dinner table. It's in our blood. That's fun. I never grew up with like trivia or like board games much. I know there's like as a kid or as a family, I should say. I know that there's a lot of families that like they grow up on doing board games since little kids and they just kind of continue that tradition with their own families, which is really fun. I don't like Pomeranians. Sorry, emo trash. Mighty Geek Studios uses a brush and a quill when inking traditionally. Awesome. Actually, a quill might be really good with these kind of tapered consecutive lines. That actually might have been a good idea to use a quill there, but I'm already too far down. Admiral Wackass, what's up? I met Jim STERANKO randomly in a Denny's with the Diaz brothers after a con. It seemed fitting. Couldn't have been a nicer guy. That does sound perfect that STERANKO was in a Denny's after a con. That's amazing. Oh gosh. Cranberry Langers. Unless you sweeten the deal, you may be barking up the wrong tree. Emo trash. Oh boy. All right, let's see. K-pop's here. What's up, K-pop? Gosh, I see all the notifications from K-pop streams. She like lines up like 17 streams in a row, and I'm like, oh my gosh. How are you doing, K-pop? Always great to see you here. Everyone streams on Monday nights? Jeez, do they? I don't know. I feel like Monday is kind of a popular night or popular day to stream. But I saw an opening and I took it. Dulcet tones of Rocky B could be a late night radio show. It could be. That could be. That would be kind of cool. I need to find something where I'm not drawing, just talking about stuff. Need to find a talkie kind of subject matter. Not flipping through, not looking, just talking. And then we can do some sort of late night stream like that. Nice reference. It's away. R.I.P. Porkins. Oh, goodness. Sorry, all I had to pop into a meeting for a short bit about weather update. Oh, boy. Goodness. Hope all is well. It's okay. We didn't notice. I was way behind in the chat anyway. R.I.P. Porkins. Zaid Comics popped in and I missed it. He was here. I saw it. I think I'm back for now and out of lurk mode. Had to run around in the background. This is looking awesome, Rocky. Thank you, Jeffrey. All right, I'm catching up here. Comrade Sammy is here. Can confirm I am alive. Days of the floppy disk. All right, I'm catching up. I feel it. If the skies are cloudy and green, head for the tornado bunkers, they say. That doesn't rhyme. Needs a rhyming thing. What's that rhyme? Something about cows. Something in your knees. I'm mixing all my old wives, old farmer sayings. If the skies are cloudy and green, head for the tornado bunkers. Comrade Sammy, you are bad at feeding yourself. Stop it. Eat something. It's reminding me of my daughter. You need to like cut apples or like eat a yogurt, something. Don't malnourish yourself or undernourish yourself. Rocky, this experience has taught me that I don't like Pomeranians either. Cranberry Landers. I appreciate I just had an interview like 2 days ago. Hopefully it picks up. Yeah, hopefully your job situation turns around, Cranberry. The economy and all of the... Yeah, there's a lot of upheaval in the workforce right now based on so many things going on in the world, but you know, can't get much. I mean, it could get much worse, but hopefully it turns around. K-pop junkie says STERANKO is awesome. He keeps telling my friend he's fat. What? I think I'd like that. I think I could sign up for that to be the subject of STERANKO criticizing somebody for being fat. That would be kind of awesome. Right on. Monday is the worst day to stream. Oh well. There's nothing on TV on Monday, Mighty Geek Studio says. Comrade Sammy will take Emo's dog. You're paying for shipping though. Aw, K-pop wants it. It's a Pomeranian K-pop. I don't know if you'd be able to stream as much as you do if you had a Pomeranian. I'm just saying. Pulled pork, baked beans, and cinnamon apples. That sounds good. A Rocky talk show. Getting him to yap doesn't take much. Just interview him. I'll ask him questions about anything. And he'll go on. Why do you say that? What makes you say that, Emo Trash? What makes you say that? When you train your new boss at work. Oh. Ooh. Now that he said something, I've now decided against finding food. How dare you tell the chat ninja what to do? It's blasphemous. Okay, let me, wait, do I have any ink still on this brush? No, I gotta load it up a little bit. Let me do the top lip, and then I'll go back on this part here with the carpet, the striped carpet, finish that little piece, and then we can move on to the third panel. We're rocking. We are rocking. Gosh, that scared me. My cat just pushed open the door very quietly. Where should I put this? Here? Okay, let's see. The music stopped again. All right. See, too many things. All the things. Mighty Geek Studio says the white was used for the highlights on the lips to give the impression of the woman wearing lipstick. Yes. I mean, I love how... yeah, it's just amazing how, like... I remember... I think it was Silvestri would do this with lips, and I'd always copy it when I was, like, drawing... comic girls or whatever, but he would always do this, like he would always make sure to put a highlight on the lips, on the bottom lip, and then the top lip would be like usually black because it was thinner, so it'd be in shadow, but then the bottom lip would always have this like really cool highlight on it, and it just gave you that feeling of like luscious feminine female lips. It's really nice. All right, what's the best? So this one I don't get any break. It's just like there's no gap here. It's just all the way across. Ugh, it looks really chunky. I gotta clean that up later. All right, here we go. Top lip. I wonder if I should start at the top, bottom. I'm gonna start at the bottom. Now all I hear in my head is R.I.P. Porkins. R.I.P. Porkins. Go back and adjust some of these. Like it needs to get a little thicker as we get closer to the shadow on the far side. That's better, kind of wraps in a little bit going into the distance. It's like a combo of the lines getting closer together and also a little thicker at the same time. All right. Not the greatest, but not bad. I'm probably going to pick a few spots to cut in with the white a little bit to like thin out some of these strokes, but I think we're good where we are for now. Boom. All right, looks like we're done. I mean, other than, oh no, I'll do the rug here. There we go. Cool. Looks like we're done with those bottom 5 panels. How about that? Woo woo! Gotta run, folks. Jeffrey Beats says, thanks for the chat. Thanks, Jeffrey Beats. I'll start working on your sound effect, and congratulations on being modded, and stay safe from your cyclones. Rocky, what is your biggest takeaway so far from doing these page reproductions? That I've got way more practice and things to learn. I think that I think it's given me a great introduction / reintroduction to a lot of the tools that I'm using and how they feel on paper. It's taught me a lot about just the process. Say when I start producing my own work, my own comic, like the process, that how I would break that down and, like, you know, do the penciling and then scan it in and do the blue line and then start inking and all that kind of stuff. It has solidified in my mind that I think my predominant tool of choice for inking will be a brush ink. I love the way brush inks look. And as much as I enjoyed, I mean, I thought it was going to be a clear slam dunk that I love brush inking more than nib inking, but I did enjoy that Mobius page that I inked predominantly with a nib. That was really fun. And so it's just going to depend on the final look that I'll want to take, or I'll want to create with whatever book I'm working on. And maybe it'll be different from book to book or whatever. I mean, got to just make the dang book to begin with. It has taught me a lot about, I think each artist has taught me different things to appreciate from their work. So I did 2 videos of top 3 things that I learned from Mike Zeck and top 3 things I learned from Michael Golden. The next one up is top 3 things I learned from Will Eisner, and top 3 things that I learned from Mobius, and then top 3 things I learned from Barry Windsor Smith. So each one of those artists, on top of just kind of the general, this is what I learned and this is what I've taken away from Master Studies, I've learned so much about each one of these individual artists and why they are masters, in my opinion. You know, that what are the things they do that make them so good and so that leave such an impression on me as a fan. So yeah, it's a lot. It's been great. And I think, you know, I'm just going to keep doing them as long as it's fun for me and I'm learning something. And it's just, I've said this quite a number of times. It's like exercise. It's like going to the gym. So, and at the end of the day, you kind of have this cool reproduction of an awesome comic book page. So, but just getting the reps in and drawing and drawing and inking is really important to me because it helps me get better as an artist myself. So that's what you asked me what my biggest takeaway, and I just gave you 100. So sorry. New movie coming, Girl with the Zebra Lips. Yeah, that's right. There she is. Now do the hatching on the frame that I actually meant. This frame? On this frame? I'm not going to change it. Oh, this frame. That's what you're talking about. There is hatching. Some hatching. Indication of hatching here. So, but he didn't do it fully across. And I love that. I love that, again, the artist's choice, you know, it makes us think like, oh, why didn't he do it all the way across? Like, what is it? Is it indicating a light source, right? So it's brighter on this side and this is shadow. That's probably what he's doing. Is he just wanting to draw more attention to this side of her face because of the rose there? All these kind of artist choices are really fascinating to kind of pick apart when you do these. The frame that's second from the right. This one? Oh gosh. Emo. Oh! You're right. You are right. Okay, let me do that right now. Look at that. What would I do without you? What would I do without you? This guy's keeping me honest. All right. Emo, this one's for you. She was totally right. I missed the hatching on her mouth. Oh, and I missed the... Goodness. Sloppy. I missed the little widow's peak underneath her nose, too. There. Now we're done, right? Now we're done. Hooray. Actually, looks like there's a few more. I just boofed that. Dang it. All right, time to bust out the white. My water. All right, there we go. Did we do it, Emo Trash? What else did I miss? Did I miss other lines? Please tell me. I'm used to talking to people on opposite sides of the planet for social interaction. This is weird, right? It's totally weird. Mike Zeck, Michael Golden, Mike Barron, Mike Bancroft. I see a pattern here. You have to be named Mike. Mike Mignola? Huh? Michael Gold. We already said Michael Golden. Mike. Yeah, there's a lot of good Michaels in comics, for sure. So you're in good company. It's an exercise when you absorbed what you study. It is. And I need an exorcism, too. Oh my gosh, I'm slow. I got it. I got it. I'm naming my son Mike and putting a pencil and a baseball in his... That's right. There's good Mikes with a baseball name. For sure. You gotta Good possibilities there. Good. The odds are in your favor. Good odds. Or give him a microphone. Yes. Yes. I guess Michael is just a good name. Just a good name. Archangel Michael also, maybe. Mine means strong and manly. Michael Cranberry Langers means strong and manly. Other than that, you didn't make the shading on his nose as thick as the original. Oh gosh. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. What are you, an editor? Oh my gosh. I could do that. I could do that really quick too. Everybody's a critic. Or maybe just emo trash. All right, I'm going to call it done. Oh, there's a little correction I can do there too. I'll do that later. All right, because I want to move on to this panel. Let me go clean my water, and I'll be back. 30 more days, 9 days, and you can go around the world, Cranberries. Okay, I'll be back. Let me clean my water. All right, I'm back. I agree with you, Mr. Monkey Boy. I agree with you. Emo trash. It's okay. At least she's engaged, right? At least she's engaged. If his son is named Michael, you could also put a bat leth in his name, like Michael Dorn. Ooh. That was nerdy. Oh no, the Pokédot. Some differences were just too significant to overlook. You're welcome. Maybe you have a future as an editor. Whoa. As an editor. All right, I think I'm going to move on to this panel here because I really want to ink that shoulder. There's something about that shoulder that is awesome. I will probably ink something like this panel, some of this with technical pen, for sure some of this with technical pen, and this one I'll ink with a brush, this one with brush, but I want to do this one. How are we doing on time? Not too bad. Do you think Rocky has a dish to drink his water from or a mug? I have a water bottle. All right, whoops. That was a really nice curve. or felt nice putting it down. You definitely get better thick, thin strokes when you move the brush faster. If you like noodle and you go really slow, then it gives you a lot more of a wobbly line. But that's also coupled with the fact that like this line is pretty long, so I can have the distance to like move quickly and I'm going in one direction, as opposed to these guys. Like I could have, but they're kind of shorter, and so my the flow of the line wasn't as nice. Like this line would be nice. Just get the right angle here. And then these lines here on her cleavage were actually removed in the printed version. Let's see if I can... One of those scandalous things showing cleavage lines. But then some commentators were saying that it looked like this weird fleshy shape on her dress without those lines. So funny. Yeah, this print quality is really bad. Look how much black like bled into the lines here. You would think like, oh, that's how they inked it, but no, actually it was a lot cleaner than that. The print quality was bad. One thing I noticed, this was another thing I posted on X recently, was I've been reading the Kelly Jones Batman compilation. I forgot what the issue numbers are, but it's his run. The writer is Doug Munch is the writer on it. It's a great run, and the artwork's awesome. And so I have, oh my gosh, that was horrible. I have, I just boofed that. I have the compilation. I gotta correct that. That's horrible. Horrible. I have the compilation, and then I also have the artist edition of that compilation. So I'm looking at what was printed versus what the actual artwork looks like, which is super fascinating. And one of the things I noticed, and I posted this on X, was like in the printing process, I'm not sure why, but the fidelity of the line like got thinner when it got printed. Of the ink line, of the black and white ink line, got thinner. And it must have to do with like the printing process or the plates they were using or something, but it's kind of unfortunate because when you look at the original, you're like, wow, look how like great that ink stroke is and how solid those lines are, and then they're kind of losing a little bit of their integrity in the printed version. So you could go through all this work, and at the end of the day, if they don't print it well, it's like nobody will know. Munch, Moinch, Munch, yeah. He's a shoulder man. Bear midriff, naughty. I guess so. Cranberry Langer says, some of that uncovered shoulder action. Take a look at her anterior deltoid. Hubba. Okay, what am I doing here? Oh, yeah. I gotta be careful here. There's some crazy crossover with this row. Let's see. It's a good angle for this jaw. Screw up this line, so I'm going to do it with a pen. Oops, not that one. Oh, yeah, it dropped. It's like this line is so short and so thin. Same with this line here. I know that if I attempt it with the brush, I'm gonna like overdo the thick thin or brush it in the opposite direction and it's gonna just go crazy. So that's where I need a little bit more control with the pen. Bare midriff, naughty, naughty. I know, it's weird that they would just like... Yeah, that's weird. It's weird that they would let her keep her midriff and... but not have the cleavage lines. That's really weird. You would think along that line that they would say like, no, she's got to be wearing a full top, like there could be no tummy shown. Female features, man. Facial features are so delicate. And if you just one flick of the wrist the wrong direction, and you can make an attractive woman look not so attractive. Gotta clean that up a little bit. Our eyelashes are a little thicker in the original. Art and Times J. Ryan says, where does midriff come from? Is there an upper riff or a lower riff? What is what is a riff? That's a good question. It's a tummy. Just straight and simple. Mom named Louis, and I can only assume Lucky's previous owners gave him the name because that's the name I was given when I inherited him. No one says, nice riff, girl. Or your riff looking tight. Your riff looking tight. Lips with tons of vertical lines on them. I do sticks out tongue. Oh yeah, speaking of Lucky, the last of the dead skin finally dropped off his side about a week or two ago. So the wound is almost completely gone now. Oh my gosh. That took a while. Take a couple shots of espresso, comrade Sammy. It'll help you get some good sleep. You had to be very familiar with the Pantone color code system to be a colorist when this comic was printed. Yeah. And even there's some issues with the coloring, at least in the version that I have, where there's all sorts of weird things with the coloring, specifically in the skin tones. Now, I'm going to clean off my brush before I do these very delicate cleavage lines. Got to get a nice point. Make sure you guys hit that like for me. Those of you who are still in the stream. Here we go. Point. Boom. Instant cleavage. fix this. I think I gotta go this direction to get a nice taper. There we go. Oh yeah. That's nice, blacked in. Like that. That's cool. Sexy. Love it. Art and Times, or Jay Ryan says, midriff is a very old term in the English... He's answering his own question. Midriff is a very old term in the English language, coming into use before 1000 AD. In Old English, it was written as midriff, with the old word hrift. It's the midriff from the mid-god. Mid-earth. Midriff. The word was revived in 1941 by the fashion industry to avoid use of the word belly. Such a great word, belly. Which genteel women considered undesirable in reference to their bodies, as it has connotations of obesity. That's unfortunate. So it was before, obviously before jelly bellies were invented. Jelly midriffs. I can now harass my baby boy as I used to without worry about him hurting him. Nice. Awesome One's finished with dinner. Always eaten well. Awesome One, you need to come up with a healthy menu for Comrade Sammy. You must send air versions to Comrade Sammy. That's right. That's right. I thought it was widely known tons and tons of high caffeine beverages late at night definitely make you go to sleep and nothing else. Yeah. Mm-hmm. American Discord, what's up, Shelby? Bellies were taboo by fashion standard until the 40s when Louis Rayard, oh my gosh, you guys, invented the two-piece. He wanted to see women in public in their undies. No joke. God bless the man. And how do you know that? I had to look up the guy, but remember the story about him. He took over his mom's lingerie biz and was a total perv. Oh, goodness. And that is how we got the midriff. What's up, Shelby? I did end up watching... I popped into Shelby's stream. Shelby just recently was at the... Was it Phoenix Con or Tucson Con? And he streamed this morning and sniped a video of the guy who was sitting next to him about the convention and played it on his stream. But I did watch it and it looked awesome. Like, man, I wanted to go visit all those booths with the tons of back issue boxes. It was really cool. Sounds like you had a good time being there. Hopefully you're able to sell some good stuff too. Sell enough stuff to be able to buy the burrito you were eating in that stream. Oh dang, I forgot that. Thorn. Every rose has its thorn. Every rose has its thorn. Classic song. Hail Shelby. How small is his wound now? Can you still see a bit, like a line or something? Tiny gash? Yeah, whatever Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 said. Give me the air version of it. Who isn't preverted? Who can cast a stone? Who doesn't want that, Shelby? Swimsuit lore is wild. That's a good quote. Oh my gosh, this is such a complicated rose. What is going on here? She obviously wasn't considering Nick Fury's allergies, man. She's just like jamming this thing up his face. It's the real reason why Nick Fury has an eye patch. She's a little too aggressive with her rose tactics. No judgment here. Art and Times, J. Ryan helps my art sell. Exactly. Sex sells. It does. Apparently it does. The lady on the corner sells a lot of sex. Which corner? Not the corner of the page. Are you talking about? Or the corner of the street? I always thought women must be stupid to get embarrassed about going out in their underwear in public, but feel no shame about wearing a bikini. It's like, you know, it's the same surface area. It's math. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's just like semantics after a certain point. It's like, well... Yeah, try raising a daughter in this day and age. It's just like, oh my gosh. Oh, that's another thing like about that show. I was watching the Balin Out Loud. She's like 21, I want to say, and so a big part of the show is her relationship with her boyfriend, and she also has a really big family. She's one of 6 kids, and they interview the parents, and her dad, I think he works for the government or whatever, but he's like a thick dude. In his spare time, he carves wood sculptures with his chainsaws. It's just pretty awesome. And they had this one moment where the son was talking to the dad. The boyfriend was talking to the dad on his own, and just like trying to explain himself to the dad. And they must have staged this, but it was kind of hilarious because when he came to the house, the dad just happened to be cleaning his chainsaws. And he even said to the boyfriend at one point, he said, if I find out that my daughter, which she has Tourette's, right? So she has serious things to kind of overcome on a daily basis, is gets hurt on your watch, if anything happens to her on your watch, he's like, I will effing find you. The guy's like, it's kind of crazy. Why do I bring that up? Oh, just talking about, yeah, raising young ladies in this society right now. With preverts like you guys out there talking about midriffs and stuff. Bellies. Oh, look at her watch. Oh, what was that before? She was kind of... Fashion styling, comic book fashion styling for this, or I should say by STERANKO, is on point. Maybe that's not a watch, maybe it's like a bracelet or something, or... That lady on the corner is a strong, independent businesswoman. Possibly. Give her the benefit of the doubt. I think it's so hilarious. The composition of this panel is his eye patch side. It just, without any eye contact, it kind of gives it a whole nother feel. It's kind of hilarious. Wow, I got a really nice point going right now. Oops. Boom. Is that it? Did we finish that panel? That's pretty good. I think we did. There we go. Panel number 3 done for this stream. The innuendos are as subtle as a freight train. It's true. And again, that goes back to the whole thing of like, why did they edit what they did? It's like a different time. Because there's so many other things in this page that were arguably worse or more revealing. We have such nice chats here. How old will midriff topic be when Rocky gets to my previous comments? Be old. Fart. I don't have that noise. Can I go watch the last episodes of Billions yet? Sure. Estimation is 10 years. You guys get mean. I can be like Shelby. I can be like Jason, unhinged, and just ignore the chat. Actually, K-pop's really good with her chat. She's really good with her chat. I believe midriff was the name of an old wooden ship. Underwear doesn't have the nip and camel covers that bathing suits do. Okay. Jay and Shelby are on the same wiki page. That's right. Tucson Toy Con. Oh, okay. Oh, it was a Toy Con. I didn't even know that. I thought it was a Comic Con. Got it. Easily 20K of figures I would have dropped change on at that show. I got a few cool things. I'll show them off on another stream. I didn't realize, Shelby, that you were a toy collector too. Yeah, I used to collect toys. I wasn't even really a collector. I would just get cool toys, but I wouldn't like actively collect them like I do comics. I would just get toys that like looked cool for me, but I had to stop once I didn't have my studio space to like display all the stuff. I have very limited space here at home, so yeah, I stopped that a little while ago. But I do have some cool toys. I was considering like changing out the gorilla toys I have in my background when I do my Wednesday comic stream, but they're so cool I wouldn't do it. So yeah, I just saved my money for comics. Comics for burritos seems fair. Let's see. Trim his claws tonight. Ooh, okay. Dates are nasty, Awesome One says. Wait, I think you're talking about dates that you eat, right? Oh, every date has seeds. Inhale my rose, you slob. Allergies? She's shoving that thing in his face still covered in thorns. Yeah. She's giving him a message. Giving him a message there. Let me just make sure. Oh, I see. I'm gonna not correct this. Just make sure this doesn't get confused for her finger. There we go. She turns dominatrix and whips with the thorns. Oh, Awesome One. Not as good as the other one. A thorny countessa, that's right. Rocky, all reality. Yes, I know, but it makes for good TV. Is this show staged? It is. Backside of the backside of the woman is more attractive as far as that area of the body. All right, getting the specifics here, Awesome One. Beauty and danger. That's right. There's the metaphor. Like, what's her face? AI Rocky, I'll take a mocha cookie crumble, thanks. We do have a coffee bot at our local mall here that's close by, and it does make a good coffee, and you always know what you're going to get with that coffee. I mean, with that robot. So I'm all for AI coffee. What's her face was never dangerous. Are we talking about this? What's her face? Contessa? She wasn't? Is that all AI is? Do give cookies? Looks great, Rocky. Thanks, Cranberry. Thanks, Mark's Music Obsession. Mr. Monkey Boy, I'm all kinds of talky tonight. I'll shut up. You are talky, but that's okay. It's good. Keeps the conversation going. Imagine if those were grapes she was feeding to Fury rather than holding a rose over him. Yeah, that'd be kind of weird too. I never got into like feeding the grapes imagery for Greek mythology or Roman history. Never got into that imagery. I was like, I don't know. It's always weird. A rose is a rose unless it's the famous Mr. Ed. Something like that. Don't be bigoted against mono boobs, Rocky. Mono boob big. That's a first. I have not gotten that gotten called a mono boob bigot before, but all right. I enjoyed AZ streams, then he nearly went bankrupt buying toys. Oh. Yeah, that's what's her face. The rose was suggestive as well. Absolutely. AI where you literally digitally print cookies from nothing. Oh no, like I don't get into that like genetically engineered meat, like meat cubes or whatever that is. No, thank you. So anything that's like, yeah, creating it out of nothing that you have to eat, that's not a good sign. Boom. All right, cool. There's where we are. I think that's where I'm going to stop today, guys. This was good. This was great. We made great progress. Not huge mistakes or regrets from going as far as we did. It's great. I think that I might off stream, I might work on a couple of these panels just to get ahead. And then the next stream we'll finish that. And then we got, I'm assuming this is going to be the last panel I tackle, which it's a doozy. Not just because of the figures, but may I remind you, submit this into evidence. Texture number 1. Oh my gosh. Exhibit A texture. I mean, I'll use a pen for this one, so that could go fast. More striped rug. Good night. Yeah, it might not be too bad. Might not be. But then these lines. Maybe I'll use a pen for this. Yeah, not necessarily. I might use the brush for these fronds or ferns or whatever you want to call them. Got to spend some time on making sure this gun gets inked well, because that's the only time we get to see the gun. I think this is a printing mistake from my printer. The only time we get to see the gun, as opposed to them reprinting it in this panel from the edited version. But yeah, it's looking great. It's coming along well. It's a lot of great compositions in these panels, all telling a story, a very seedy, seductive story, but all telling a story, which is amazing. It's so amazing, all these compositions. It's great. K-pop junkie says, I like those pants. Va va voom. Yeah, they're happening for sure. They're quite airy. It's amazing. They're like skin tight here, and then they flare out there. I guess that's the move. This leg position is, and I didn't make that up. I did not make that up. That's how STERANKO set it up. I'm guessing that. Oh wait, let me look at the. Before we go, I want to clarify. That's not air. Well, no, they didn't color it. I thought maybe this was like the couch and her leg, but the way it's not colored in as a couch, it feels like that's the bottom of her leg, which is a really wide stance here. And where's that leg going? It doesn't make any sense. I don't think that was a good choice. Or is it? But yeah, look at the color. The colors are really bad on this. I don't know if this is the original colors or the reproduction. Really bad. It's like it was printed with like a potato stamp. Yeah, it's very, very bad reproduction. But look, her skin color changes. It's wild. What's this, like yellow mark in his hair? Totally crazy. Anyway, lots of fun. Lots of fun. All right, I'm going to catch up here. Make sure you guys hit that like, and then we'll get going. I'll let you guys go. I don't know what else, if there's any more streams going on. There probably is. Somebody's streaming tonight. Everybody says Monday is a good night or good day to stream. So who knows what's going on. But if there is something cool going on that you guys can jump onto, somebody drop it in the chat. Let everybody know. Keep the party going. Ciao, Rocky, and everybody have a good evening. Done for the day. Yes, we are. Is it over for now? It's playing Minecraft. Surprise, surprise. I like those pants. It's people. Soylent Green is made of people. I'm only 4 to 6 more hours. Sammy, come back then. He should be done with his goodbyes at that time. Darkwing Duck. Let's get dangerous. Countessa, the black-haired chick making out with Nick Fury. Yes, yes. That is a very heterosensual position. Thank you. Art Times of J. Ryan, thank you for that explanation. I didn't know until you said that. Figured he'd take longer than that. It's already been almost 3 hours, Comrade Sammy. It took long enough. I'm slow. Maybe she has one leg akimbo and the other leg she's leaning on her knee. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure, because this is her thighs. Yeah, I'm not sure. Gotta figure that out. Gotta draw through the structure of that one. I'm not sure. Thanks, Rocky, and good work. Zaid on at 9. There you go. Awesome one says, Bonne nuit. Just a couple more weeks, couple months. Countessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. That's her name. Don't wear it out. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. Hit that like, subscribe, comment, share it out. We're on our way to 500. I'm going to double check here. We are at 490, everyone. Holy zolies. We made 490. When did that happen? What was I doing? 490. Well, we'll just hold our breath a little bit because it might drop down to 486 with my luck. But 490. Thank you all who have subscribed and joined in. Totally appreciate it. Appreciate you being here. That's 10 more to 500. Holy moly. What a way to end this stream. Super excited. Thank you guys so much. It's all because you guys are here. And thank you, Wikipedia, for letting us know what a midriff is. Have a good Monday, everyone. Take care. I'll see you next time. Stay tuned. I'll probably most definitely be streaming on Wednesday again, so stay tuned for that. I'll see you then. Until then, have a good night. Take care.